Hey guys, what's up? And welcome to another episode of New School Games. Today we'll be looking at a little game called Rocket Knight. It's basically a remake of an underrated SNES gem called Spark Surf. It's a really fun game, as well as a quite unique one, and I really have to ask, how such a game was overlooked even back then? It's your typical hack and slash side scroller, albeit with one distinguishable aspect. It gives you a jetpack that allows you to travel at Sonic level speed, and it's really one hell of an adrenaline rush once you start using it. You can use it to either overcome obstacles, ricochet across walls, or use it on your enemies. Although you have your trusty sword, the jetpack is in the long run your most prominent choice of weapon. In any case, it was one hell of a game back then, and it still is nowadays. Now, when it comes to Rocket Knight, we have to say that it's an extremely well done game, and it lives up to the original quite much. It retains the basic formula. You walk around and slash everything that moves. However, combat is much more refined than before. While in the original, your sword sends cutting waves at your enemies. Here, you can either slash your enemies directly or shoot fireballs at them. And look at his sword. A fireball shooting chainsaw sword. That's something you don't see every day. Anyway, aside from your awesome sword, your trusty jetpack is back full throttle and with a bunch of surprises. Again, you use it to overcome obstacles either by flying over them, ricocheting from wall to wall, or even break through them if you please. But this time it has a bonus thrown in, as here you can use it in rapid succession, causing a drill motion effect that just doesn't look badass but sends your enemies to a world of hurt. However, unlike the original, where you simply held down the attack button, charging up your jetpack, here it actually uses fuel. Okay, it does seem more reasonable, as the more you use your jetpack, the more fuel you consume, but it refuels as you stop using it. There are stages where your fuel depletes automatically, unless you stand around in certain areas that prevent that. It also features railing and climbing, so this is one game with quite some variety when it comes to platforming. However, it lacks variety when it comes to enemies, as you'll be either fighting packs of wolves or hordes of pig soldiers all the time. But with all the fun ways of disposing your enemies, it rarely gets repetitive. Another major innovation is that often you switch to an old school shooter mode, where you fly around and blast your way through hovering minefields and hordes of enemies. The graphics are really neat and have that old school cartoonish style. Now, with all these innovations and tweaks, I'd be lying if I said this game didn't suffer from any flaws. Well, unfortunately, it does. The most prominent and most crucial issue about this game is the difficulty. No, it's not hard or anything, but actually the other way around. It's quite easy, to be honest. There are only two difficulty modes anyway, namely normal and hard, and even though this game features a number of lives, I never died, not even during my first time playing it through. The boss battles are challenging enough to get you on your feet, but nothing you can't overcome. The final boss, on the other hand, is quite challenging. Now, while the fluctuating difficulty may be off-putting to some, I think it's safe to say that unless you're looking for something overwhelmingly challenging, this is a game that deserves a try. Again, while the main issue is its difficulty, the game itself is quite fun and a worthy remake of the original. Fun, but not all that challenging. Well, that was Rocket Knight, folks. Stay tuned in for more and see you around.